You're listening to BitTalk, a podcast about Bitcoin, money, freedom, and the ideas that matter. I'm Mike, and I'm here for the signal, not the spin. Welcome back. We've been breaking down core operational practices lately: self-custody, multisig. Today, we're pulling the lens back to the biggest monetary picture: the design war between state-controlled digital money and Bitcoin's sovereign model.
Hey, I'm Lauren, and welcome to BitTalk. Let's jump in. The headlines are filling up with CBDC pilots and digital currency innovation. It sounds technical, but it boils down to one question: who gets to write the rules for your money?
Looking for a simple Bitcoin-first way to buy, save, and learn? Swan Bitcoin is built for that. Start stacking with a platform focused on Bitcoin at swanbitcoin.com. Exactly. So Lauren, here's the core hook. Central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, are being designed with a feature called programmability. This lets the issuer, a central bank, embed rules directly into the digital cash itself. Think expiration dates, spending limits, or even locking it to specific geographic areas or merchant categories.
It's efficiency with a massive side of control. Contrast that with Bitcoin in your wallet: non-programmable, censorship-resistant settlement. You sign the transaction, the network validates it, and it's done. No third party can add a rule that says, "You can't send this," or "This expires on Tuesday."
And we have fresh signals on this front. Just this week, the nominee to lead the Bank of Korea emphasized a CBDC system with strict anti-money laundering controls. This isn't theoretical anymore. So today, we'll analyze these regulatory stances, the trade-offs, especially around offline use, and frame the stark operational implications for individual autonomy and sound money.
It's like the difference between a gift card that only works at one chain store and expires next month and a gold coin you can bury in your backyard.
A gift card the store can deactivate if you say something they don't like, which suddenly makes that backyard sound a lot more practical.
Exactly.
Let's define our terms. Lauren, break down CBDC programmability for someone hearing this for the first time. What does it actually mean in practice?
At its core, it's turning money into software with rule sets enforced by the issuer. It could be stimulus money that must be spent within 90 days. It could be welfare benefits that can only be used for groceries, not cash withdrawal. The recent Korean nominee's focus on AML means transactions could be automatically flagged, reversed, or frozen based on a central ledger. It's the ultimate form of traceable, controllable money.
And the trade-off they often cite for this control is efficiency and safety, right? Less fraud, targeted policy.
Sure, but the trade-off is the complete erosion of financial privacy and the embedding of a permission layer. Every transaction becomes a line item in a state database. This is a fundamental shift from physical cash.
So how does Bitcoin's design directly contrast this?
Bitcoin was built as peer-to-peer electronic cash precisely to avoid a trusted third party. Its rules are fixed in the protocol: 21 million coins, 10-minute blocks, a proof-of-work consensus. No central party can change these. Most importantly, the settlement is final. Once a valid transaction is in a block, it cannot be reversed or frozen by any authority. The programming is in the unchanging protocol rules, not in variable controls on user behavior.
So if a CBDC is like a highway, where the toll operator can close your specific lane, change the speed limit just for you, or boot your car off entirely, Bitcoin is like an open public road. The rules of the road, drive on the right, stop at red lights, are set and equal for everyone. No one can stop you personally from using it if you follow those neutral rules.
That's a great image. And the car is your private keys in your self-custody. You're always in the driver's seat. Which brings us to the human impact. This moves from theory to reality quickly. What does programmability mean for individual autonomy?
It means your economic agency can be contingent on compliance. We've seen precursors with payment processors freezing donations. A fully programmable CBDC systematizes that. Your access to money could be linked to social credit scores, vaccination status, or political dissent. It turns money from a neutral tool into an instrument of social policy enforcement.
And Bitcoin's operational retort to this?
Self-custody and peer-to-peer settlement. This is where our recent episodes on multisig and hardware wallets become critical political acts. Holding your own keys means no one can program your Bitcoin, and tools are evolving for extreme scenarios. The Human Rights Foundation recently highlighted offline Bitcoin tools using mesh networks, VPNs via Nostr that let users transact even during internet blackouts. You can't do that with a CBDC that requires constant online validation from the central bank.
It connects directly to our multi-sig guide. Setting up a 2 of 3 with keys held in different locations isn't just about security from hackers. It's about creating resilience against systemic failure or coercion. It's operational sovereignty.
Let's talk about the sound money angle. CBDCs don't change the underlying monetary policy, right?
Correct. A digital dollar or e-rupee is still a dollar or rupee. Its supply can be inflated, its value eroded by central bank decisions. Programmability just makes the transmission of that policy and the enforcement of capital controls more efficient. Bitcoin's sound money proposition is separate and foundational, a verifiably scarce, predictable supply enforced by code, not committee.
So even if a CBDC were perfectly private, a big if, it would still be unsound money?
Exactly. It solves the payments problem within the existing inflationary system. Bitcoin solves the money problem itself. This is the philosophical chasm. One seeks to optimize state control, the other seeks to make it obsolete for monetary settlement. Swan Bitcoin is built for people who want a serious Bitcoin-only approach. With recurring buys, Bitcoin IRAs, self-custody options like Swan Vault, and education designed to help you build conviction, Swan focuses on long-term Bitcoin savings, not crypto noise. Learn more at swanbitcoin.com.
And we're back. A key technical trade-off often discussed is offline capability. Proponents say CBDCs could work offline like cash. Is that realistic, and how does it compare?
It's a major engineering challenge with a privacy catch. For a CBDC to work offline, you'd need a hardware device, like a card or phone, that can store value locally. But to prevent double spending, that device eventually has to sync with the central ledger, creating a detailed record of your offline activity. It's delayed surveillance, not privacy. Bitcoin's Layer 2 and offline schemes, like peer-to-peer channels or the aforementioned mesh tools, are designed for sovereign settlement, not just deferred reporting.
And we're seeing real-world pilots pushing ahead. India's e-rupee reportedly has 8 million users. China has advanced trials.
Yes, and it's telling that in China, while the digital yuan expands, citizens still find ways to access crypto. It highlights the dual demand: a state-controlled system for everyday compliance and a censorship-resistant asset for preserving wealth. This might be the coexistence model: CBDCs for regulated in-country spending, Bitcoin for savings and borderless value transfer.
So Lauren, for our listeners, what's the actionable takeaway? How should this understanding shape their operational posture?
First, deepen your self-custody practice. Our last 2 episodes are your blueprint. Get your Bitcoin off exchanges and into hardware wallets or multi-sig setups you control. This is your hedge against programmable money controls. Second, understand Bitcoin as sound money. Its fixed supply is its superpower in an era of potential hyper-efficient monetary manipulation. Third, stay aware of the tools. The ecosystem is building for resilience, from simple Lightning wallets for everyday spend to more advanced offline tools for extreme scenarios. You don't need to be a cypherpunk to benefit from the basics.
So not your keys, not your coins, takes on a new weight when the alternative could be their keys, their rules.
You could say it upgrades from a security best practice to a declaration of financial independence.
Let's recap the stark contrast. CBDC programmability represents the apex of state monetary control, efficient, traceable, and capable of enforcing policy at the individual transaction level.
Bitcoin represents the apex of individual monetary sovereignty, permissionless, censorship-resistant, with a sound, predictable supply. They are fundamentally incompatible visions for what money should be. Recent regulatory pushes, like in South Korea, just bring that conflict into sharper focus.
The path forward isn't necessarily one destroying the other, but individuals understanding the tools available to them. Choosing which system to use for what purpose is becoming a critical form of economic literacy. That's our time for today. Thank you, Lauren, for sharpening the analysis.
Always a pleasure, Mike.
Thanks for spending time with us on BitTalk. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep stacking knowledge.